Hey, Dr. Joe here at Atlas Health, and today we're going over part 3 of the how a restricted diet like the keto diet or the autoimmune paleo or FODMAP diet or any restricted diet for that matter long term can actually cause more problems than it helps. And so if you haven't had a chance to watch the first 2 videos, and this seems like coming out of left field, they're on our page, Atlas Health, on Facebook. And I'm just going to jump right into it. So last time we talked about some of the factors related to loss of oral tolerance, which is the key issue in food sensitivity, and how the common trap is to do a food sensitivity test and see foods that we're sensitive to. The worst thing that we could actually do in that scenario is avoid those foods and ignore the reason why those foods had a sensitivity to begin with. Okay, and today we're going to talk about one of the number one factors, and that is causing a loss of oral tolerance, and that would be related to poor stomach function. Okay, so on the link below or in the comment section below, I'm going to include a series of questions that relate to poor stomach function. And so the key thing, the biggest thing that you want to look out for when you're, and I'm not recommending you to do a diet. I can't give you any medical advice because I haven't examined you, okay? But I can say that if you've decided that you're going to do a restricted diet, if you're working with another doctor, you're doing a restricted diet, and there's been no investigation into your digestion, and there's been no talk about, oral tolerance, be really careful, okay? But the big thing is if you start a new diet and you get heartburn right away, or if you already have heartburn and you go on this diet and it doesn't help your heartburn at all, or if it gets better for a while, like, man, I did the keto diet and I felt so much better, my bloating went away and my heartburn got better, and then after a few weeks of that it starts to come back, look out. That to me is a huge red flag, and it suggests that a person isn't breaking down their proteins, either plant protein, animal protein, wherever it's coming from. That amino acid sequence is still stuck together, not being broken down fully in the stomach, and it goes into the small intestine. And those white blood cells that live near the small intestine in what's called the gut-associated lymphatic tissue see those chunks of protein and they freak out. Okay, so look out for that. All right, the causes of low stomach acid production are numerous. Or the causes of stomach dysfunction are numerous. It could be related to a brain issue. It could be related to a thyroid issue. It could be related to a high cortisol or stress issue. It could be related to an infection in the stomach itself called H. pylori. Okay, it could be related to poor food combining. One thing is a lot of times people will mix starches and proteins together like a sandwich, or classic meat and potatoes, or rice and beans. What happens is that sugar breaks down primarily in the mouth due to saliva and enzymes in the saliva, and then it goes into the stomach, and the protein breaks down in the stomach, but the sugar, the rice broken down into carbohydrates, or will go down into the stomach, and it'll tell the acid-producing cells in the stomach to take a break, okay? And so then what happens is the food will ferment or putrefy in the stomach, and this is why a person will start to get bloated right after they eat, because literally they're starting to rot and gas is forming right away. They're getting incomplete protein breakdown. And so some of the symptoms associated with this are acid reflux if the cardiac sphincter pops open, but like bloating right after you eat, gas or burping immediately following a meal, bad breath. Those are some really common signs of low stomach acid production. And we talked about some things that a person can do nutritionally or dietarily to deal with that. And one is avoid foods that have glyphosate or other pesticides or herbicides attached to them. That makes it really hard to break down because the protein has been altered, and that altered protein from the pesticide or herbicide is more difficult to break down, and then can create problems downstream for oral tolerance. We talked a little bit about how food colorings can do the same thing. Another thing that people